Good noon to you too, sir. How you going?
Yeah, any better and I'd be twins.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. How's it all going?
Good. Yeah, I've had a good week.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been fairly productive, more than usual. So that's good. Getting over fear of rejection a little bit. I've just been more sort of proactive in that area. So
Okay.
yeah.
So how would you define rejection?
How would I define it? I define rejection as making an offer which is not accepted, or identifying, taking personally when someone says no.
Yeah, because you're thinking they're rejecting you.
Yep.
Are they?
Yeah. But
Like if you offer me a steer and I go, nah, not interested, am I rejecting you?
No.
What am I rejecting?
An idea.
Exactly. A concept. If you've never asked, how are you going to know? You don't have me in the first place.
That's right.
And a lot of people see it as rejection because they take it personally instead of seeing the real reason behind what they're offering it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're offering it with something to come back, then you're going to be really prone for rejection.
Yep.
Whereas if you offer it with the ability to empower or enlighten people, then all of a sudden there becomes a purpose to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I've internalized that quite a bit. I've been doing working off a leads list that I purchased a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And I'm finding it really easy. I'm not taking rejection personally at all. So it's good.
Beautiful. Because if you define rejection, it's pretty much not being wanted or not being loved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By who? By someone else.
By someone else, yeah.
So when u equals 0 or u equal 5, can you be rejected?
When I equal 5.
Yeah, your bottom box.
Mm-hmm.
U equal 5, you need 95% to come from an external source to get you up to 100%. So you at 5%, can you feel rejected?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're dependent on someone 95% to fill you up.
That's right.
So you're very prone.
And I want to be at 100, so I don't need any validation, any acceptance, any support, anything.
So then what happens to rejection when you're at 100%?
It disappears.
Yeah, because who wants you?
I do.
Who loves you?
I do.
Yeah. So when you're getting everything that you need, when someone else goes, I'm not interested, your brain goes, that's fine, I've still got me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas down the bottom you go, well, they don't want me, I don't want me, so I'm goosed.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Oh, yeah, very much.
And it all comes back to that, the same as when you're singing, like, for what reason are you, and singing's like public speaking. So for what reason do you sing?
Because it fills me to express myself and to give my gift.
So focus on that. What other people think has nothing to do with you. I mean, it doesn't matter who's singing. It can be Lady Gaga. It can be, anyone that's prominent. And people are still going to bag him out and go, oh, they can't sing for nuts. Like people say Jimmy Barnes can't sing for nuts. Well, he probably can't.
He doesn't care.
I don't care. I'll go and listen to him, A, for the songs, B, for the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Because people want the connection.
Right.
The same as when you talk. People want the connection. They listen to you talk not to see, if they're there to see how you talk and how you do it and your body language and everything, okay, you know, like, wrong people, you shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
They're there because they want to hear about RCA. They want to see how RCA can help them with their health and how they can improve what's happening.
Yep. Yep.
So focus on what you've got to give, not the reaction you're getting.
And Clive, I've known that intellectually for most of my life. It hasn't made the difference in emotional terms for me. Recently, a lot more progress in that area.
Yep. And the more you're aware of it, like, I remember even just on public speaking when I went to Canberra, I was a keynote speaker over there for National Speakers Association. And this other lady was speaking and she said, "Oh, have you got your talk prepared?" And I said, "No, I'm just going to wing it." And she goes, "What? You can't wing it. You're not allowed to wing it." And she's got pages and pages of notes and she spent the last 5 days going through it and memorising it all, and she's out there and she's got the arms going. And then someone walked in the room and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late." And then she lost her place. Oh, there you go.
Right.
Whereas I just take it from the heart and just give what I've got, and that's the way it goes.
Yep.
And I don't even see what people are doing. If someone's messing around, I don't even focus on them. Like, now that's their stuff, not my stuff.
Yep.
Just get back to what you've got to deliver. So when you're singing, focus on you connecting with the song, because why do people want to listen to it?
Yeah. They want the connection.
Exactly. And all you're doing is providing the connection.
So do you have any practical tools for me to remind myself of that in the moment?
I'll Google tattooist in your area. 4113
is my postcode.
I think it's just being aware and practicing. Like, people say practice makes perfect, but I say perfect practice makes perfect type of thing. So
yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so I'd be just like doing it in front of a mirror and just practice connecting with the song, practice connecting with the audience, practice you being a part of it, you being at one with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And people can see that. Like, I get feedback, people saying, "You really love what you do, don't you?" And I go, "How do you know?" And I go, "Well, you got a passion for it." And people can see that. And sure, you're going to get people that go, "Oh, he played that note wrong," or "He didn't hit that note." Who effing cares?
Yeah.
Like, you're not there for that. Are you?
No.
Exactly. You're there to entertain. People go for the entertainment.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been always very clear on, that I'm in any situation like that in a public forum, performing, speaking, I'm there to give, not to take. And so I heard it well put once. Someone said, self-conscious is selfishness, because you're thinking more about you than giving what you've got as a gift.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. If you just think yourself as being fulfilled to start with, and all of a sudden you're giving this fulfillment.
Yeah.
And that way you're going to be happy with what you do. And what other people you think of what you do is none of your business. It's all their stuff.
True. Yep.
But none of them are up there doing what you're doing, and I wonder why. It's like I watched, just out of curiosity, I watched this Married at First Sight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how the effing hell could some of these people at 40 years of age go on this show when they're telling the partner what they should be doing all the time, and they're so into themselves? And one of the the groom's even said to his wife, I can see why you haven't been married. Like, you are so into you, there's no room for anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's got to be done your way, at your time, and that's it. So there's a lot of people out there like that, very insecure, but that's their way of gaining security.
Yeah, by control, which was,
Exactly.
we covered that last week. That was really, really helpful.
Excellent.
And
So any questions on what we did last time?
I haven't had a lot of social interaction, so I haven't in the last week. I've been pretty much just working from home, doing my thing. So I haven't had a lot of opportunities to watch people pushing up the now. Plus, it's a very internal process. People can hide what's actually going on pretty easily, can't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's when the chips are down and you start to see people react. That's when you start to see the real them.
Right. Uh-huh.
You know, and if they start reacting big time, or they start going within and they're really quiet, or some people just run away and they don't want to have anything to do with the conflict, or others will just stay there and go, well, do you want to talk about it? No, I don't. And they're okay with it. Great. Like, you can see they've got a lot of it together.
Yeah.
But the ones that want to fight and want to be win, or they don't want to fight and they just leave the premises for a couple of days, then you can see that there's a lot of turmoil within.
Yeah. I thought you might be able to assist me to get more clarity on why in my relationship with Alyssa, when I find that in my interpretation she's behaving irrationally or controlling or whatever, or even if I'm just having a bad day, I tend to withdraw. I mentioned that last week.
Yep.
And it's almost like a punitive behaviour. It's like, okay, well, like they say in the labour unions, like, you know, the last resort you've got is just withdraw your labour. And my attitude has been, it's a survival instinct that, you know, the last resort I have is to withdraw my participation, and I'll come back when I'm ready. And Alyssa just said to me, she said, it doesn't work. She said, it doesn't work because I just get more worried, more concerned, and but it's a fallback position for me
Yes.
to withdraw, and
Yes.
and I want to deal with that. That's pretty important to me.
So why do you think you withdraw?
Because I feel overwhelmed and unable to cope with the situation.
Because?
Because I'm quite sensitive, and how can I explain it?
You take it personally?
Well, Alyssa and I had a situation where I came to Adelaide, and the last night that I was there, we went for a meal at that restaurant up on in the hills, a really beautiful restaurant. And she'd had a fair bit to drink. I had some to drink, less than her, but still enough. And we were sitting there, and it was like she turned on me, sort of thing, and got really hard. And I was trying to draw her out. And I said, look, I really need you to just be open in your heart with me. And she said, she sort of wouldn't talk, and then she said, I am not here to look after your needs. And I was completely discombobulated, like I couldn't speak for half an hour, and she's going, you know, this is really embarrassing, you know, why can't you just be here and be present? And I was physically, viscerally shocked. I was totally in shock, because when and this is to varying degrees depending on the relationship, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship, I let my guard down, and it's like I just go, okay, there's all of me. I totally trust you. And in the event that I get the perception of I'm being injured or attacked, then my entire being just disappears. Like I did not want to be there, and it was extremely painful. I can't even describe to you the level of pain. It was like I was immobilized, paralyzed. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, I couldn't eat. I left an $80 meal just sitting on the table. I couldn't eat it.
Can you
And
see?
what's that?
Can you see why?
In this moment, no, I cannot. I can see that I wasn't whole in myself. I needed validation, but it was more than that. It was I've put myself in a position of vulnerability, and it's been taken advantage of.
So here's a couple of things I'd do. Number one, never ever have an in-depth discussion when you're having alcohol.
Right.
Because common sense goes clean out the window. You don't get a good discussion. And I just say to people, if you're on drugs or on alcohol and you come in here, I'm not even going to talk to you. I'm just going to kick you out. I'll even take your money, but I'm not going to talk to you.
Right. Yep.
Because you're just not going to get any common sense happening whatsoever.
Right.
So I would make an agreement with her and say, when we're drinking alcohol, in any way, shape or form, all personal conversations are off the table.
Okay.
Because otherwise, alcohol will bring the best out in people or they'll bring the worst out in people, and you're either going to get really attacked or they're going to be over the top and joyous and, like they can go crazy funny. But either way, it can be really embarrassing, and I just have a rule that just says when we have alcohol, there's absolutely no personal communication like on the deep and meaningful.
Right. Yep, that's wise.
Yeah, because you're just not thinking properly.
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol's a depressant too, so that's not going to help the situation that you're in and she's in when that occurs. And if she's had more than you, then you know things are going to go pear-shaped. And if she wants to bring it up, and Alyssa, as you will know, is a person that wants to get to the bottom of things now, then one of the ways of dealing with that is to ask a question back. Like, can you expand on that? Get her talking about stuff, because when you ask questions, you're in control of where the conversation goes.
Absolutely.
So and the important part is to get to a point where you don't start taking anything that she says personally.
Oh, personally, okay.
Okay, because when you do, that's when you feel gutted.
Yeah, and basically that's what she said. Oh, you made too much out of it, I'd had a few drinks and you shouldn't have taken so seriously what I said.
Well, I would say you shouldn't have bloody said it.
I did. But it didn't get me anyway, or her.
Yep. So that's where we need to get to a point where you start taking these things impersonally rather than personally.
Okay, good.
And if you're not sure on what she's saying, just ask the question and go, well, that's an interesting comment. Do you mind giving me an example of that?
Right, yeah. And I know that principle, when the person who asks the question controls the conversation.
Exactly.
And didn't happen that night, I can tell you.
Well, sometimes it doesn't. Then you can just say, look, can we agree to disagree, and then maybe talk about this in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we're both level-headed.
Yeah. I actually spent my entire adult life until 5 years ago. I'd never had a drink in my entire life. And so I'm also a little bit, I guess I'm inexperienced and a bit naive in relation to how alcohol can affect a conversation, because I've been designated driver my entire life.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
I just may go back there soon, I think. But it's yeah. So that's good. That's a good ground rule to start off with.
Yeah.
I guess why I'm asking the question, because I'm aware of things went pear-shaped a lot worse because of the alcohol was involved.
Yeah.
What it did, though, was highlight a weakness in me, highlighted a vulnerability that just became accentuated and blown out of proportion.
The problem is in that situation, Glenn, is that unless Alyssa heard what she wanted to hear, you're going to continue to have a drama.
Yes.
And that's the trouble with alcohol. Like, people get more pig-headed, more stubborn, and they start going for things more. And so if someone like that attacks you and they've got alcohol, I just come up with a cry, look them straight in the eye and go, are you attacking me?
Uh-huh.
And that's a good question to sit them on their bum. Or transfer this thing to somewhere else. Did you see this on telly last night? And I'll probably go, are you avoiding the question? I go, yeah, because we're out here having a beautiful dinner, not having therapy.
Mm.
Now, if you want therapy, that's fine. Let's do it in a therapeutic place, not a public restaurant. Agree?
Yep.
What are they going to say? No, I want them done now. Oh, are you stubborn? What do you mean? Well, do you have to get your own way all the time? Well, no. So why are you trying to get it now?
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps putting the onus back onto them. They might throw a question at you, but you just answer it and throw a question straight back.
Yep.
But sometimes, are you attacking me? And I mean, you just look them straight in the eye and just sort of lean forward a bit and go, are you attacking me?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, that's going to, because you come forward and look them in the eye, then they generally will take a step back and they'll go, well, no. Oh, great. I thought for a minute you might have been attacking me, but I'm so relieved that you're not. I mean, what are they going to say next?
Mm. Yeah, good.
If they go, well, I was, and you go, can I ask why? And can I ask why is always a good question, because when you say, can I ask, you're asking for permission,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's ever going to say no. Can I ask why? Like, why are you doing this? So it just softens the blow a little bit, and it, again, puts the emphasis back onto them. And then they'll yada, 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 and go, well, do you think that's fair? Like, we're out here in public having a nice dinner, and all of a sudden we've got into this really in-depth therapy. Like, is that good?
Mm.
You know, again, therapy shouldn't be carried out in public. Like, we haven't got to hook up here to 10,000 people to see how all this works. So, you know, it's a private thing.
Yeah.
And make a rule that therapy gets done in the privacy of home or in an office or somewhere like that. Have a room that you do therapy in.
Yeah.
So you associate therapy with that, not the bedroom, because otherwise the bedroom then is known as the therapy room and it kind of loses all the other things that it should be.
Yes. Okay.
And that way, common sense should really, and you know, that's where someone just takes the offensive and goes, well, let's have a great night tonight and then let's talk about it in the morning.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the bottom of what's happening and why. And then say, how's your wine? Like some more? Not full enough yet? Okay, we'll fit you up.
Right.
Does that help answer that?
Very well. Very, very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. So, yep, any other questions or comments on last week?
No, I found it very intriguing, the whole 5% and 25. That the phrase I kept hearing through the week was pushing up the now. I really like that. For some reason, that's very clear to me. It's like
Yep.
trying to push beyond the limitation of my own self-esteem to try and make myself feel okay, and that people do that in a myriad different ways, just to like trying to supplement that baseline. And
Yep.
that was very insightful for me. It was very helpful.
Yep. And that's a line you got to fix, and most people don't want to fix that line. So
Yeah.
they've always got the potential to go to that level.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want to raise that line
That's exactly.
to 100%.
That's the one that should be up at 100.
Yeah.
Ideally.
I know that would totally change the experience of my life.
Nice.
Because I am aware that so much of what I do in my life is to try and push that up, try and compensate for that.
Yep.
Whether it's I'm sitting at home and I never get bored, but I'll sit at home and I'll feel empty, so I'll go and see a film. Now I love film, and I'm a budding director. I've been an actor for many years, but I'm aware at the deepest part of my heart that I'm going to relieve tension. It's not part of an achievement of any objective, but just because I want to get away, I want to escape my life and go and be entertained by somebody else's vision, somebody else's creation. And I guess that's universally applicable to so many things, including drugs, alcohol, everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
and it's okay. At least you got a handle on it, and that's better than like doing some of the harsher things. What I'd like to see you do is going to see these shows as a bonus, not the necessity.
Yeah.
And you go to enjoy them and get involved in it rather than to help fill you up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to come from a point of completion, of completeness, rather than lack.
Yep.
Which is again the same theme, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
just keep thinking what your life at 100% or feeling totally at peace with yourself would be like.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's being at peace with yourself. Most people are trying to be at peace with everyone else.
Yeah. Well, as I said to you first up last week, all of my challenges are when I'm on my own. Poor thinking, irrational, addictive,
Yep.
all those things happen when I'm in the presence of other people, especially people I respect. I don't have any issues. I'm really together and really focused, really at my best. And I suppose, even given what you've shared with me, it's still a mystery as to why I can't be at my best on my own.
Well, you don't like who you are. So how are you going to be at best when you don't like who you are? Because when you're by yourself, you're left with you. You're left with your thoughts. You're left with your emotions. You're left with your environment.
Yeah.
When you're with others, you're distracted. You got other people to help build you up. You got other people to help feed you. You got other people that are going to fill your tank.
Yeah, and part of that, especially being a part of a network marketing business, is I've got other people not just to help me, but I've got other people to help. So it distracts me from me.
Exactly. And like if you don't like something, you're going to try and avoid it.
Yeah.
Like if you hate a restaurant, you're not going to keep going back into that restaurant looking for food.
No, I'm not.
So if you hate who you are, you're going to avoid being with you at all costs because you don't want to go into that restaurant.
Yeah.
So you're better off going to restaurants that everyone enjoys because then you're happy, they're happy, great. And the thing to remember, nearly everybody else on the planet's in the same boat that you are to some degree.
Wow. And that's that. The reason I say wow is because even knowing what I know about human nature and human foibles, that's still surprising to me. Because I still think, well, everybody's got it together except me.
No. I can tell you from doing this, since I come up with this program in 1994, I've only ever found 3 people over 20% for their real.
Really? Really? Oh my gosh. That's
3
amazing.
people. One was suicidal, so I know you go work that one out.
Okay.
So I didn't quite understand how you could be over 20% and you were suicidal.
Right.
Another guy was a business person, and as soon as he said he was 25, and I said, well, that's you at your most insecure. And he goes, I haven't got any insecurities. Like, what you're talking about? And he started verbally attacking me. And I go, well, obviously, that's not a real figure, or I've misread his figure. And then the third one, he was a guy who did a lot of self-development work, and he was forever doing courses and reading books. So he was at 40.
Okay.
So even 40 is not bad. That's the best I've ever had for someone that hasn't been exposed to what I do.
So here's the magic question. Have you been able to raise anyone to 80, 90%?
Well, I have. Absolutely.
Okay.
And 100, even I can't get to 100 all the time.
No. That's why I didn't say 100, because I know that perfection is a chimera.
Well, I would suggest, if I had to put my figures on it, I'd definitely be in the early 90s.
Okay.
I mean, last year I had mum, dad, and my brother die all within 3 months, and
wow.
I feel it really well.
Yeah.
My whole family gone, and not only that, our cat and our dog also died in that period too.
Gosh.
So I had 2 close family members, my brother who's in Melbourne and mum and dad who I was half looking after, they all passed. And I handled it really, really well.
Well, that's
I wouldn't if I didn't know what I knew now.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely my objective, Clive. That's what I want. I want to be at 80, 90%. I'd be just over the moon.
Beautiful. Let's get you there.
Okay.
The good part is, as I said, you definitely have the potential to get there.
Okay.
So
that's like I have about 50 warning bells go off in my head when you say that, because I don't know if I mentioned this last week about potential. My 3rd grade report card. Did I mention that last week? Yeah. Glenn has amazing potential but fails to fulfill it, and it's almost like that's my life story. I'm a late bloomer on everything I do. I'm always arriving at a destination later than most other people I know. And it's like, it's almost like I'm resisting fulfilling the potential inside of me. So when you go, well, you've got the potential, I go, oh, shit, that's not good.
That's right. My teacher told me I'm never ever going to have it. So I got the potential, but it's never going to come to anything.
Really?
Well, that's what you're virtually saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's true. It's only she said at that point in time.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing is, you've taken what happened at, say, it was year 8 or even year 4, and then year 4 becomes year 5, like 1 minute becomes 1 hour, 1 hour becomes 1 day, 1 day becomes 1 week, 1 week becomes a year or month, year, and then your mind's still stuck back there, and that becomes your belief system.
Yeah.
Instead of going, well, hang on, I'm going to prove her wrong.
Yeah.
And seeing why you have potential, well, that potential's fine, but you've got to be able to act on the potential, and you're not going to be able to do that because you're down at 5%.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Then you get a fear of success, because fear of success means you're under the spotlight.
Yes.
So fear of success means A, you're under the spotlight. 2, you're then expected to keep going at that level, because if you're not, then there's a good chance they'll reject you. Because how come you're not making those sales? You made those sales earlier. How come you're not making them now? What's wrong with you? What's happening? So there's a very high expectation by others.
Yeah.
And then you can have trouble handling that because you then put pressure on yourself. Does all that make sense?
Yep, totally.
So we're defining 100%. So we said it's a point where you feel secure within yourself. It's also a point where you're at peace with yourself. Thirdly, 100% is a point where you can give unconditionally. Mm-hmm. So what does unconditional love or unconditional giving mean?
Expecting nothing in return. It's a
beautiful.
It's a pure outpouring of something without expectation.
Yeah. So when you equal 100, how much do you need back for you to feel fulfilled from someone else?
Nothing.
Because?
I'm complete in myself.
Yes. When you're 5%, how much do you need back?
Lots.
Because?
Tank is empty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Oh yeah. Yep. Very clearly.
And that's where the saying is you can only give what you've got. And to me, you can only give what you've really truly got for you because that's what you're going to give to others. And people tell you, I got heaps to give. And I will tell you they give unconditionally, but the only time you can give unconditionally is when you don't need or want anything in return.
Mm-hmm.
So most people will love a baby unconditionally, but when that baby becomes a teenager, it goes from unconditional to conditional. Because now the baby can say, or the teenager can say, no, not giving you anything back now. I'm going to go and do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it then becomes a conditional relationship. The only way it's unconditional when you don't need anything to come back. And it's like if you're in a business where you're making, say, $1 million a day, you're going to have more than enough money you know what to do with. A friend comes along and says, hey, Glenn, I'm starting this new business. Can you lend me $50,000 to get it going? Yeah, you're going to be thinking I'm making $1 million a day. Like, yeah, of course I can. So you lend them the money. 6 months later, they come back to you and go, hey, Glenn, look, we're having trouble getting this business going. Should be going in about 3 months. Can you just give us another 3 months to get this going? You're going to be thinking in the last 3 months, just last 6 months, I've just made 188 million, so what's 50,000? Like peanuts. So you're going, look, you're a good friend, keep the money, don't worry about it. Because whatever you give, you just make some more to replace it.
Right.
Whereas down at 5%, you haven't got it. So therefore, you're not going to be able to lend it if you haven't got it. And if you have got it and lend it, you're going to want it back, and generally with interest.
Good analogy.
So the more you've got for you, the more you've got to give. The less you've got for you, the less you've got to give because you need to get filled up.
Yep. Yep.
And that's why it's really important to fill you up so that you feel good, because then you've got it to give. So one of the traits of a 100% person is they allow others to be who they choose to be.
They don't need to control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to change anyone. I can sit in on a conversation and they can be degrading me, degrading everything that I stand for, and I'm just letting it all go because it's not my stuff. And I can let them think what they want. I can let them do what they want because nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's their stuff. It's their turmoil. It's their ideas on the world. It's their ideas on how things work. That's their stuff, not mine.
Yep. Got it. Mm.
And therefore, the 100% person can just let others be who they choose to be. Whereas the 0% person, they'll either stew on it, or they'll come out bombastically and go, you can't say that, that's not fair. Brr.
Or you promised you'd have that money back to me, and I can't afford that money to be out there. And
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I've got a rule with lending money. I never ever never lend any money that I can't afford to lose.
Okay. Interesting.
I still expect to get it back, but if for some reason I don't, then I could afford to lose it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people lend stuff they can't afford to lose, and then it's a necessity to get it back, and the pressure's on, and then it goes pear-shaped.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's only how I see things. So, any questions on unconditional?
No.
100% person, they're kind to themselves. Because if you're beating yourself up, which way are we going?
Down.
Yeah. Now, you can't get to here going this way.
No. No.
I've tried it, doesn't work.
You were the test case.
I was a test case.
Right.
If you want to be here, you've got to drive yourself to that point.
Okay.
And that means being kind to you.
Okay.
And that's just a practice thing. It's just a case of being aware that at all times you've got to be kind to you.
So, I've had many people say that to me. I have a friend staying with me at the moment. He works at the jail up here at Wacol, working with young offenders, teaching them music. And he's been my friend since I was 17. And
Wow.
And 3 times last night he said to me, "Glenn, you've got to go easy on yourself. You're too hard on yourself." So my question is, can you give me some things that I can anchor? You know, what sort of things? If you can give me some examples of what that looks like. What does being kind to myself look like? What sort of things?
So no more saying I'm an idiot, I'm stupid. No more emotionally, physically, verbally beating yourself up.
Okay, I tend not to do that except when I'm at 5. That's the negative self-talk comes spewing out. You know,
Yeah.
you're never going to make it. You're just a loser. Blah 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 blah. The stuff that I'm always, as a network marketer, I'm a teacher trainer as much as a recruiter, salesperson, or anything, and I'm teaching that stuff all the time. So when it happens, I go, "Jeepers, how did I get to this place? This is really low." Really low. So okay, so no beating myself up, no negative self-talk.
That's right. No physical stuff where you beat yourself up physically by hitting walls, doors.
Right, yeah, I don't do that.
Slamming your fist into things.
Yeah, no. I've always wondered how people do that. I mean, to me, like you hear these stories over and over again. Oh, I got so angry I put my fist through a wall. And I think, I just can't, that's mind-boggling to me because logic would determine that that's a lose-lose game.
Well, I had a client that went to do that with like a plaster wall, and he didn't quite go through the plaster because he hit one of the beams that were, and he had a plaster cast.
Oh my gosh. He was trying to hit the plaster and he got the plaster.
Yeah, he hit the support beam.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah,
beware.
Anyway, that one's okay. I don't do that.
Okay. So give me an example where you're tough on you. Let's fine tune it.
Wow. Okay.
Last night, what would the guy, your friend, say?
Oh well, we were chatting about life, and I said, "This is actually." He was here last week, before our session, I think, or after, I can't remember. And we hadn't discussed it, except that I said, look, it was great. It was a breakthrough for me in awareness. And we got into this conversation, I think it was last Saturday night, and because we're both the same age. He's 4 months younger than I am. We didn't go to school together, but we were in the same grade at school. And and he said, "Glenn, your life's fantastic." And I said, he said, "I don't know why you're down on yourself or complaining." I said, "Well, I'm 57 years old. I have no savings, almost no assets. I don't have a partner. I don't have children. My chosen career was as a performing artist, musician, singer, songwriter, actor, stand-up comedian, That's nowhere. That's not going anywhere. I've got an album that I've been producing of my own work. It's been in production for over 20 years. And I said, by all material measures, I'm a failure. I'm not. I haven't done what I wanted to do, and
Whose perspective?
my own.
So are you being too tough on you?
Well, he said to me, just as he left this morning, he said, "Just you got to don't be so hard on yourself. You've actually achieved a lot." But I can't see it. I can't. It's really hard for me. I speak 3 languages.
Well, there you go. See, and you're learning Chinese. So
Yeah.
the thing is, you're only seeing the negative stuff. You're not seeing the positive stuff. So a good question for him has been, okay, you made a comment this morning that I've got a lot going for me, besides eyesight and hearing and all that. So,
Except for what?
eyesight and hearing.
Yeah. Right.
Old age. So, from your perspective, what do you see I've got going for me?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll tell you what other people are seeing. See, because you're seeing it from inside you, and the thing is, you get down on yourself.
Oh yeah.
So then you formulate a belief system on you. So what's the belief system about you?
What is that belief system?
Yep, about you.
Uh,
I'm a failure.
yeah.
So you like being a failure?
Do I like it? I do not like it. Though I'm aware there's some payoff there somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
So why do you keep talking about it and thinking about
it? In the hope that I will wake up and see.
Ain't going to happen. You can't be successful talking about failure unless you see talking about failure as being a success.
Right.
Think about it. How can you be a success when you just keep talking about failure? It's like if you're teaching someone a musical instrument or to sing and they go, I can't do this. What are you going to say?
Stop talking like that, because it's not going to help you to get where you want to go.
But I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
I can't do it. I can't get it right. I'm hopeless. I'm useless. This is not working.
Yeah, I see your point.
So what's the chance of them waking up in the morning and being a success?
Very, very, very small chance.
Exactly. You'll never disappoint yourself. So while you see yourself as a failure, nothing is ever going to change.
Right. Okay.
Now, if you want to turn that around, what's the opposite to failure?
Fulfillment, success, happiness.
Okay. So focus on what you are. What are you a success at?
I'm a pretty good communicator.
Beautiful.
I've got pretty good health.
Can play a musical instrument. I see them all in the background there.
Yeah, I can play drums, percussion, guitar, mandolin, some keyboard, some bass.
There you are. You're a part success at ASEA.
Yep.
There's a lot of things you are a part success of, but you're never going to reach here while you see yourself as a failure, because you're just going to keep shooting yourself in the foot.
Right.
Because everything else has failed, so why the fucking hell wouldn't this fail?
Yeah, that's. I think some of my self-talk sounds a bit like that.
Sorry to use a.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. My best friend in ASEA is a 63-year-old gentleman called Mal, and Mal and I met at an ASEA meeting in 2016.
Is he high up?
What's that?
Is he high up in ASEA?
Oh yeah.
Not Mel Sword.
Yeah, Mal Sword.
Oh, there you go.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I've met him a couple of times.
Oh, you have? Well,
Yeah.
When I met Mal, I was doing an ASEA presentation and he was in the audience, And I went to sit down with him because he was just sitting in the chair. Most people had left him. He was there, and I sat down. And he was in the depths of despair. He said, look, I don't know if I can do this again. I've got a huge downline in another company, but they were sued by the ACCC, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like down the dumps. And so I was earning more than him at that point. 10 weeks ago, he had his first $20,000 week. And I'm not talking turnover, I'm talking income.
Wow.
And so he's making between $15,000 and $20,000 a week. I'm still on $1,000 to $2,000 a week after 5 years. I'd already been in the business working it for a year and a half when he joined. So I know we should never compare ourselves to others, but I know I have the potential to be one of the highest income earners in the company. So it's incredibly frustrating to be moving so slow that it's like walking through treacle.
Well, get rid of the treacle.
Well, I need tools to do that. I need how-tos to do that.
Get rid of the negativity relating to you judging you as being a failure. Okay, is the glass half empty or half full?
Half full.
Well, if you're seeing yourself as a failure, that's not how you're seeing it.
Right. Okay.
Now, it's either half full or half empty. You can say it's half full, you can say it's half empty. It's just as easy to say either.
Okay.
Now, you're either a 50% failure or a 50% success. Same thing. So instead of seeing what you haven't done, start seeing what you have done, start seeing what you can do.
Yep.
So that you then start giving that energy rather than the failure energy.
Yeah.
Failure's got this much energy.
Mm-hmm.
The success has got this much energy. You want this, but you got this. Guess which one's going to win?
Right. You mean that's where I'm putting my focus and energy. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have to look at you when you talk about why you're a failure or you see yourself as a failure, and there's a lot of energy behind that.
Right. Okay.
And then you talk about being a success. When people talk about being a success, you know, I was a success last week, you know, I made $10,000, that was awesome. It's about that much energy for about that long. But hey, when I lost $10,000 last week, it's got this much energy for about 12 months.
Okay.
Because we give negative stuff a lot more energy.
Right.
And the question then becomes, I'm sort of jumping ahead here, but the question becomes, how can you make what you've got, what you've done, work for you? And you can. You're just not focusing on where you're going. You're focusing on being the failure because you haven't done this and you haven't done that, and I still haven't released this album, and I'm still not any further in a seer, and I haven't got any kids, and I haven't got a girlfriend, and I'm not married, and the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want some tools, grab yourself.
Yeah. Pair of scissors. Okay. And cut off the negative focus. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Right.
I'll show you how to do that in more detail. I just don't want to jump into it yet, but you're never going to disappoint yourself, and it's like you're trying to climb a mountain with treacle all over your boots, and it can't work. It's going to be really hard work.
Yeah.
These people are flying past you, and you're going, well, how come they're flying and I'm not? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's the dilemma.
But they haven't got the treacle on their boots.
Yeah.
Change boots.
Yeah, that sounds great, Clive, but it doesn't mean anything to me in practical terms. Change boots.
The other thing you can do is visualise yourself being halfway up that hill with all these treacle on your boots, and then just sit down, take your boots off, throw them down the bloody hill, get a new pair out of your backpack and say, okay, from this moment forth, we're going forward.
Okay.
Treacle's gone.
Yeah.
And that becomes a story for you.
Yeah.
And because you visualise it, what your mind doesn't know the difference between that which is real and that which is imagined. So because you're imagining it, you're imagining yourself going forward quickly. Then your brain says, you want to go forward quickly? I'll give you going forward quickly. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's actually simple, but it's not easy because I let my brain get in the way.
Exactly. You let the negativity get in the way.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got all these barriers you're trying to pull down to get over it.
Yeah. Maybe you can help me challenge a belief that I've had. I feel like, and this is related to this late bloomer thing, that most of the time, I'm sort of genuinely happy, but but the happiness is like I'm in a total dream. I'm not actually connected to reality. And then every so often something happens and bang, I go, oh, that's right. That's where I'm really at. When I'm not caught up in the illusion of everything's okay and we're going ahead, we're making progress, and then whack, oh no, that's right. I still don't have what I want. I still don't have a family. I don't have assets. I don't have, it's like, I feel like I flip-flop between blissful ignorance and devastating, crippling truth.
Yeah, highs and lows. But as you know, in your game, you can go from the depths of poorness to the heights of success really quickly.
Oh my God! That was Mal I was telling you about last week. That we went to see the home, and he went, "Yeah, I'm going to buy the land. I can buy the land now. It'll be $650,000." And then, and 2.5 years ago, he couldn't buy presents for his kids for Christmas. So I know that, and that actually even makes me more frustrated that I'm not making progress. I could go, okay, I see that, I see I can do it, still it doesn't happen. And it's
so not making progress because?
No idea. But maybe this is the clue. It's this 25% lack of.
Well, you hate who you are.
Yeah.
If you hate who you are and you see yourself as a failure, where's that going to go? Like if you're talking to someone about joining us here and you go, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, look, I'm in my 50s and I'm really a huge failure. Like I haven't achieved anything. I haven't done anything. I've lost everything that I've had in my life. I don't have any family. Everything's gone pear-shaped. I'm just one big loser. What are you going to say? Mate, I've got the form here for you to sign. Like, just sign on this here line here and, mate, we'll get you going. Would you be saying that?
No.
What would you be saying?
It sounds good, but I better find somebody else to join up with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you're up against. We need to rebrand all that for you. I'm not going to do it now because I want to take you through some other stuff before I do that.
All right.
Okay, so next part. 100% person sees everything in their life as a bonus. They don't need people and things to make them happy. They feel happy with things, they feel happy without things.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a 0% person, they're not happy unless they've got people, things and money and all these things around them to make them feel good.
Yeah.
Now, while you own everything there that you've got, in real terms, you're done. Why? Because if fire goes through there or something happens, it's all gone. And you can run home and go, hang on, stop, I own all this, you can't touch it. It's going to go, tough, watch me. So even though you own it, in real terms, you don't. It's all on loan. And if you were to die today, then it's just going to get given to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't own it. It's all on loan. The 100% person knows everything in their life is on loan.
Okay.
Now, when you're born, what are you born with?
Nothing.
And then through life we accumulate all this stuff, and then when we die, what do we die with?
Nothing.
Come in with nothing, go out with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So for the whole trip, all we've got mind, body, spirit.
Yep.
That's all we've got. Mind, body, spirit. 100% person knows that. Everything's on loan. I saw a quote in the book that said, I think it was Conversation with God, love everything, need nothing. Love everything, need
love
nothing.
that. That's good.
Because if you need someone to behave a certain way or someone to do something for you, then who's in control?
Yeah, I'm dependent on whatever that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So love everything, need nothing. So your bottom figure, when I take everything out of your life, all your musical instruments, everything that you own, Asia, Alyssa, all your friends, Mel, take them all out of your life, that bottom value is what you've got left.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Whereas a 100% person, that's what they've got left. They've still got 100% because I've still got me.
Yeah. And for
So,
me is not worth that much.
exactly.
So losing everything else, there's nothing to take its place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, should it be that way?
No.
So reverse it. Start valuing who you are and what you've got.
Mm-hmm.
So the 100% person, they're totally caring, loving, forgiving, understanding because they've got it all to give. So they're able to take things impersonally and they're able to respond to a situation. Whereas a 0% person, they take things to heart, they stew on things, and they'll either react internally and have an implosion or they'll react externally and have an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
So all good reason to be at 100%.
Yeah.
So any questions on that?
No, that's clear.
All clear? So coming back to this here, I'll put it up here so you can see it. So if we start, this is where you were last week, you plus 100 from someone else equals 100. And if they disappear on you, then you've got nothing, they've left, so you've still got nothing.
Yep.
So you end up with nothing, which is total devastation.
Yep.
Whereas if you equal 100 and someone's around you, you get 200, great.
Yep.
I'll take 100% bonus anytime. But then if they decide they want to do something stupid and leave you, you've still got 100% out here.
Okay. Yep.
I got 200. They should be 100 out there. So you've still got 100% out there.
Yep.
So that's why it's important to get you up, because then if someone rejects you, you've still got you.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got to want you more than anyone else?
Me.
Who's got to love you more than anyone else?
Me.
Yeah. Who's got to accept you more than anyone else?
I do.
Yeah. Then you're self-sufficient.
Yeah. That's what I want.
Beautiful. Okay, so any questions?
No.
So we need to get you from where you are through to where you need to be. So to do that, 100% represents a point where all your needs are being met by you.
Yes.
So you have two types of needs, physical needs and emotional needs.
Yep.
Now, emotionally, the biggest needs we have are to feel loved, accepted and approved of, to feel wanted or needed, and to feel happy. Can you think of any other emotional needs that you have that doesn't fall under those headings?
Right. Say them again.
Yep. Feel loved.
Yep.
Accepted and approved of.
Yep.
To feel needed and wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And to be happy.
Mm.
Some people say,
I would add in the need to fulfill my purpose.
which is?
Well, it's shifted a little over the years, but generally speaking, well, I one of my goals was that I want to bring people to their hearts, into their heart through entertainment, through music, through acting to help connect people to their purpose, to their higher purpose.
So, if I'm going to sell a seer, do I need to believe in it?
Yes.
Because
the entire business model is based on an authentic model of sharing what you already know to be true. It's the only reason why you don't have to be a salesperson to do it, because you can innocently share because you're passionate about it. The whole model falls apart if everybody has to be a trained salesperson with no belief. It doesn't even work.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part. What was that? Are you listening to what you're saying?
No. The whole thing falls apart if someone is just trying to sell it but they don't have passion or conviction.
So why aren't you fulfilling your purpose?
I don't know, I just went blank, which is usually a sign that I'm about to discover something important.
Well, what's your purpose?
To bring people to their hearts.
So to do that, does one not have to be there in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's been a huge challenge for me, because I've been aware for probably 20 years that there's a disconnect there for me with my own heart.
Exactly. Because you're a failure and nothing's going to work.
And therefore I'm not congruent in my communication.
Exactly.
I put on a good show and I'm quite a powerful communicator, so that allows me to compensate.
That's right, but it's not still coming out of the heart. It looks like it's coming out of the heart.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show.
And that's where you got to connect to that, because you got to sell it to you first.
Yeah.
To be able to deliver it to others. You got to be fulfilled within to help others be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you probably get heaps of speakers in a seer. You can see the ones that stand up on stage and sprig it, but they haven't got it. Like, you can see they just don't have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not coming from here. It's just coming from here.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
so that's where,
interestingly, I can pick them a mile away.
Well, you'd be really good at that.
It's cool.
You're really aware.
Yep.
Okay, so they're all our 5 major needs. So, physically, we get taught how to look after ourselves. Like, physically, you can meet your own needs.
Yeah.
Because you've been taught how to do that since you were yay high.
Yeah.
Emotionally, we never get taught how to look after our needs. Like, can you remember your parents or school or someone sitting you down and saying, hey, Glenn, now that we've taught you how to become physically independent, we're going to teach you how to become emotionally independent. It doesn't happen. Why? Because our parents didn't know, their parents didn't know, school definitely has no clues.
Right.
So all the skills we essentially need, we're never taught, which is why nearly everyone falls into that category of being close to zero for their skill. So let's pick something.
We're actually conditioned to believe in codependence too, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're actually discouraged from, well, not discouraged, but the emphasis is so hugely on you complete me that nothing else there's too much noise for anything else to get through.
Exactly. And I remember when I gave some talks to Amway, there's about 4 people came and saw me afterwards, and they said, we don't agree with what you're saying. You don't have to be independent. You're going to produce William Bryant's, who shot up Port Arthur. I said, "How do you get all that? Like, what are you talking about?" He said, "No, no, no. You've got to be interdependent. Everyone's got to depend on everybody else." And I go, "Well, that works in one way, but we've got to be a community where we A, sort ourselves out, and B, are there to help others."
Yeah, a community of independent, spirited people.
Exactly.
Interdependence is an evolutionary step based on healthy individuals.
That's right.
Yeah, I get that.
But they just haven't taken it far enough.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're totally right. You know, we are taught you got to be in a dependent relationship. You only got to watch these bloody Married at First Sight to see how dependent they are on each other for how they all feel.
Yeah, right.
So physically, you're already at 100%. Why? You can do that all by yourself. So let's have a look and see how you do it. So let's pick something everyone's got to do. What time do you have to go today? So I'm not just rambling on.
1:30. So
Okay. So
2:30 your time.
Yep. Okay. So I'll probably finish about 20 past. Is that all right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going a bit over time because I want you to have this information.
No, we've got at least till 2:30 your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe even another 5 after that if you need it.
Okay.
Cool.
So physically you're already there. So let's have a look and see how you satisfy your own needs physically. So let's pick something everyone does called eat. Now, if you feel hungry, can you satisfy that hunger?
Yes.
How do you do it?
I cook a meal or I buy one.
Exactly. So let's look at cook a meal. The very first step you've got to do is you've got to take ownership of your hunger, which is responsibility.
Yep.
You've got to admit to yourself, I feel hungry.
Okay.
I've got to get something to eat. I've got to eat it. Because if you don't do all those three things, nothing happens.
Yep.
Once you do take ownership, you're hungry, then you've got some decisions to make. So the second step is decision making. What am I going to eat? Where am I going to get it? How many ingredients am I going to put in? How long am I going to cook them for? Am I going to peel them? Am I just going to throw them straight in? Am I going to cook them in the microwave? Am I going to boil them? Am I going to throw them in the oven or in a frying pan? How long am I going to cook them for? How am I going to put it on the plate? How much am I going to put on the plate? Where am I going to eat it? When am I going to eat it? Where am I going to take the first bite? How big a bite? How long am I going to chew it for?
Yep.
Going to get something to eat's never going to be the same again because you'll be going through all these decisions in your head.
Yep.
So even though you've taken ownership and you've made all these decisions, the last step is you got to action it. In other words, you got to physically do it. So all your physical needs are met by doing those three things. Get one or more of that needs not met.
Sorry, say that last thing. One or more
of those three things wrong, and your needs not met.
You mean take ownership, make decisions, action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how many people just go sitting in front of a menu going, can't decide. So while they can't decide, what happens?
You don't eat.
Exactly. Need not met.
Okay.
People getting out of bed, alarm goes off. Hit the snooze button. Not taking ownership for getting up, not making a decision on getting up, not physically getting up.
Right. Got it.
So for you to meet that physical need, you've got to do all three things. Take responsibility or ownership, make decision, take action.
Yep.
Works every single time. The ones that don't work, they end up in trouble.
Yep.
Now what works there works for the emotional needs. So let's start with happiness. Who or what makes you happy?
I choose to be happy. It's
Beautiful.
It's under my control. It's under my influence.
Beautiful. Because if I say my music makes me happy or theatre makes me happy, what am I saying about my happiness in the first place?
It's dependent on outside factors. I don't control it or direct it.
Exactly. So how much have I got?
How much have you? How much?
How much happiness have I got if I'm dependent on outside factors?
Well, probably a small amount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and people say, well, that's going to make me happy or that's going to give me confidence. That's just telling you straight out they haven't got that in the first place.
Right. Okay.
Now, I can tell you a dirty joke and you can go, Clive, that is really, really funny. I got to remember that to tell, say, Mel. I was going to say Alyssa, but then she probably wouldn't. I don't know. Or you can go, Clive, that's totally disgusting. I'm horrified.
Mm-hmm.
Who determines how you process the joke?
Process receiving it.
Yeah, who's responsible for how you process whether the joke's funny or disgusting?
Oh, me. I do. Totally.
I've got nothing to do with that.
Right.
I just tell the joke.
Yep.
I don't make you laugh. I don't even make you angry. I just tell the joke. You make a decision as to whether that joke's funny or disgusting based on your moral belief system.
Yep.
So because you make the decision, you are in control of the outcome. Because you're in control of the outcome, there's only one person that can make you happy.
Right.
One person makes you sad, one person makes you feel frustrated, and that's
me.
You. Yeah, so if you want to be happy, the very first thing you got to do is take responsibility for your happiness or take ownership of your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's three things to stop people being responsible. Number one's denial. So what's denial besides being the longest river in Egypt?
I love that one. What's denial? Inability to see the truth, to recognise and own the truth.
Exactly. So what's going to change? Nothing.
Nothing.
So being in denial stops people taking ownership. The second thing is excuses.
Can I just say that's what concerns me about when I talked about this blissful ignorance. It's like, I know everything's okay. There's plenty of time. I'll make it happen. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to distract you.
That's right. You'll make it happen when we get rid of the roadblocks.
Yeah, cool. All right. So, yep. So, second is excuses. Yeah.
Excuses and lies, and that speaks for himself.
Yeah.
You know, like, I went to the meeting on time. Oh, it was the traffic, or
yeah.
And it just doesn't cut. And the last one's a big one: blame.
Yeah.
It's their fault. This is happening to me. It's their fault. I'm going through this. It's their fault. I feel this way.
Yeah. And
if you think about blame, and you can also have self-blame.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Yep.
Now, if we leave self-blame out for a minute, when you blame others, there's only one solution. They've got to change. They've got to do something to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Now, if you're waiting on someone else to do something to fix the problem, how long are you going to be waiting?
Forever. Maybe.
Yes. So that's how much control they've got for that period of time.
Yeah. Look, I should add that I've had a number of conversations with Alan. I mentioned Alan to you last week, did I? He's the person that actually sponsored me in Nicaea. He's an Irishman that lives in Dallas, in Texas, and he's one of my closest friends now. He's a really amazing guy, and there's been certain things that he said he would do, like we divvied up the workload so that my business would grow. They ended up not happening. Because of things in his own life, he couldn't fulfill his part of the bargain in the short to medium term. But you know what? I've never blamed him because I've just kept saying, no, it's not up to him to build my business. It's up to me.
Exactly.
So I think I hardly ever, because I learnt this at doing Money and You with Robert Kiyosaki back in 1994, and he had this flip chart and it said, excuses, lay blame, or take responsibility. They're your three choices in life. And it's been a profound lesson that I internalized and often refer back to. There's no point. All excuses have the same value, which is 0.
Yeah.
And laying blame puts responsibility and the power outside of yourself. But I hadn't actually thought a lot about blaming myself, which is actually a pernicious little loophole, which is what I do. I blame myself.
So which way are we going?
Responsibility. Take responsibility.
Yeah, but if you blame yourself, which way are we going?
Down. Sorry, if we what? Lay blame.
If we blame ourselves.
Yeah, we're going down. Going down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just as you don't blame others, why don't you blame others?
Because you lose power placing responsibility outside of yourself.
And you're going to do the same thing
To
by
blame
blaming yourself.
myself. Right.
Aren't you?
Yeah. Yep. That's a distinction for me. That's really important. Yeah. I'll write down blaming myself is still blame.
Yeah. Because you're devaluing who you are.
Right. It devalues.
Now, if you want to blame yourself for something, blame yourself for all the good things that are happening.
Yep. Okay.
Hey, I can play all these musical instruments. I blame myself for that. And I blame myself for being a member of us here and getting my act together so that I've got pretty good health. I blame myself for meeting Alyssa. So you start blaming yourself for the good stuff.
Yeah, right.
Then you start building that.
Yes.
So there's the first step, responsibility. So you've got to be totally honest with you at all times, which you're well and truly doing that, which is great.
Okay.
Okay, second step, decision to be happy. So how do you create happiness?
How do I create happiness?
Besides going and watching a show.
I'm blank again. I got nothing.
Okay, that's all right. I love your honesty. So happiness comes in a number of forms. One is doing the things that make you happy, like going to a show.
Yep.
Thing is, you got to come home, so then the happiness can end fairly quickly when you get home. So doing things can make you happy. Thinking about things that make you happy, that'll create happiness until you stop thinking.
Right.
A lot of people say, well, especially the experts, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll end up getting what you want.
Yep.
Well, I've got a shitload of clients that help other people get what they want, but these people aren't getting what they want. So not quite sure how that one works.
Right.
In theory, it's good, but in reality, it's obviously got a few drawbacks.
Right. Maybe as a business structure it works, but as an emotional, evolutional method, it doesn't work.
Well, that's right, but even in business, you can be still helping people that are the wrong people that just want to help themselves and they just don't help anyone else.
Right. Yeah.
And the last part that I see of creating happiness is an attitude.
Yeah, that one I've got right a lot of the time, I think.
Okay, so it's a glass half full or half empty?
Half full.
Back to that. Yeah, well, that's where I'll challenge you on that, because in a lot of cases you're seeing it as half empty. You're putting more energy into half empty than you are into half full.
Right. Okay.
Because the half empty goes to that bottom part of the reel, that bottom box.
Yeah.
The half full part goes to the top part.
Yeah.
And people say, well, you know, I'm positive most of the time. No, you got to be positive all the time. And I had a guy come and see me who was really depressed, and I just got to the part of the glass half full, half empty. He said, Clive, I hope you know, I'm one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. And I go, awesome. I've got an optimistic depressant. Like, doesn't make sense.
That he was very depressed.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And he's one of the most positive people you meet. And I go, that doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
And that's why the positive person sees what they have got. How can I make good with what I've got? How can I learn from what I've got? How can I go forward with what I've got?
Yeah.
Whereas a negative person, they focus on what they haven't got, what they're missing, what's not there.
Yes.
And that's a big part of where you're at, because of all the things you haven't done. Like, you're too hard on you. Right. If someone's tough on themselves, do you think they're going to go forward, or they're going to stay the same or go back?
Emotionally, you mean?
Yeah, and even physically.
Yeah, that I have no stats on, because I know a lot of people who've been very hard on themselves and they're extremely financially successful.
Are they tough on themselves in a positive way or a negative way?
Well, that's a good question.
Thought I'd ask it.
Yeah. Hmm.
And that's why it's important to get to that half full and see what you have got in a positive way. The average person in the street, 75% of their thoughts are negative. The average person.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to take the negative and transform it through to the positive.
Yeah.
So I've got some homework for you for next week.
Okay.
Homework number 1. I want a list of things that are going right in your life. Homework number 2.
One sec.
A list of your good traits.
Yep.
Homework number 3, a list of the things you don't like about yourself.
Okay. I went, a list of my good traits. Tumbleweeds. Okay. A list of... Oh, this is an easy one. Number 3 is easy.
That's right. That's what everyone says. I'll have no trouble with that one.
Oh, dear.
I'll be able to rattle them off so easy.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And at what number do I stop? Well, 10 will be fine. Okay, so quick overview. What have you learnt from today that you think can help?
The most important thing is that I've been blaming myself and seeing it as objective criticism.
I like the way you put that. You've almost convinced yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I've convinced myself that it's not self-blame. It's a critique based on experience, wisdom, and knowledge. I like that.
Glad that one has worked for you.
What's that?
I'm glad that one has worked for you.
Yeah, yeah. I really like that the 3 steps to physical independence are the same steps to emotional independence.
Exactly.
Taking ownership, making decisions, taking action.
Yep. And you think about it, every single thing we do, we're going to do that. You got this. Get there, you got to make a decision on when you're going to go and how you're going to get there, and how fast you're going to go to get there, and then you got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It works in every situation from what I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just keeping it simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing that's a big one is for you seeing yourself in a negative way for what you haven't achieved.
Yeah.
And how that's going to lock you into more of the same.
Oh, yeah. I can see that now.
Good.
Because that's a pit that you could never fill, isn't it? All the things I haven't done.
Exactly.
There's a million of them.
Exactly. Look at the emotion you put into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why it's important to flip that to the other side.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover that in the next session.
Okay.
So we're still on track?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
okay, awesome.
Thanks, Clive.
Just keep it simple and just keep going back to what we've done. You'll see everything just falls into place relating to that. Especially like even the rejection, like to be rejected, you got to feel not wanted, you got to feel unloved, not good enough.
Yeah.
And all those come back to that bottom box.
The bottom box is the 5%.
U equals 5, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good. That's good homework. Thank you. That's some good realizations.
Yeah. So next session we're going to build you up.
Okay.
And get you going.
I will. Shall I Skype text you those lists? as soon as I do them?
That'd be good. Yep. And then we'll go through them next week and obviously to see what's on them and how many are on them. So.
Awesome.
And I want it from, if it's from the head or the heart, I'll soon work it out. So.
Yep. Cool.
Well,
Thanks.
people give stuff from the head, and that's fine. Like they got the intellect right, but they just haven't been able to take the intellect and put it into their reality.
Right. Yes. Good. Thank you so much.
That's all right. And there's a few skills there on how to work with Alyssa and setting up a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's such a simple thing. I mean, my entire life as a teetotaler, I held to that. I never would have a conversation about anything in depth with someone who'd been drinking.
Exactly.
There is no point.
And the good thing about Alyssa too is that she's so keen to get things right.
Yeah.
And work things out. So she's absolutely sensational in that respect. Like as soon as there's a problem, she wants to sort it out.
Yeah, it's great.
So the whole thing can go forward.
Yeah. She's an amazing woman.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to be part of her life and for her to be part of mine.
Well, there's something going right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like little thing, a journey starts with one step.
Yeah.
As you know, like you don't join a SEER and expect to be at diamond level in a week. Like it ain't going to happen.
No.
Same here. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. And the more you get it right, and with everything it's like that jigsaw puzzle where it all just gets put into place and all of a sudden it hits and you're off and running.
Yeah, yeah, and I am so close to that breakthrough.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's like, my income could go from $1,500 a week to $6,000 in 3 to 5 months.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
start having some fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I actually hadn't been thinking about that. It's all become a bit of a chore.
Exactly.
Instead of fun.
Yeah, and when it's a bonus, it is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to leave you with a wise saying that just cracks me up. When you're going to judge someone, first walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when they realise it, you're a mile away and you've got their shoes. Well,
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. That's sensational.
Yeah.
I saw another one. Have you seen the thing that's been going around about the guy that joined Bunnings?
No.
He was a 75-year-old and, he went through the questionnaire they had online and what are you good at? And he said, well, it's all to do with the bedroom, so it's probably not applicable here. And
all about the what?
All to do with the bedroom as to what he's good at.
Oh, right, okay.
And the whole fill-out, I'm not going to go through his whole fill-out, but it got to a point where they put him on as a customer service person out the front, and he had to greet people, welcome to Bunnings, and we hope you have a nice day.
Yep.
And he said he saw this lady come in with 2 young kids, and they're screaming, and she's effing at them, and effing this and effing that, and sticking it to them, and yelling and screaming, and he said, welcome to Bunnings, and I hope you're having a nice day. And she said, nothing ever nice about it. And he said, I see you got a beautiful set of twins here, beautiful twins. And she goes, they're not effing twins. Are you effing blind or effing dumb or both? He said, madam, I'm neither dumb nor blind. I was just wondering how someone could be stupid enough to shag you twice.
Oh my gosh.
He said, I only lasted 2 hours at Bunnings.
Really? Oh,
and they sacked him. I said, well, I don't think this is for you. After telling this lady, I didn't think anyone would be stupid enough to shag you twice. She said, one was 9, one was 7. That's right. One was 9, one was 7.
Oh, right. Oh,
yeah, I forgot that part.
Have you ever seen demotees? Do you know what a demotee is?
No.
You see in those offices, they'll have a picture of Mount Everest and it'll say, success, it's never crowded at the top. And they have different ones for different beautiful pictures. They're called emotes, I think. They're motivational, motivational posters, right? There's
Yeah.
a whole genre now called demoties, and they're demotivational. and there's some real classics. I'll actually send you a few because they're my
Okay.
favourites, and you'll get the gist. But there was one, and it had dating sites, and underneath it said, "You're doing it wrong." And there was a questionnaire for someone who's joining a dating site, and it said, "What do you like most in a woman?" And he'd written, "My dick." Anyway, I think you'll get the sense of humour.
Oh yeah, I love those things.
Yeah, there's another one of a guy in a suit standing in the middle of sand dunes. There's nothing, and around him, and it says, "There's plenty of fish in the sea." Is the top line, and underneath it says, "But you're not in the sea. You're in the desert, alone." Oh God! Anyway, I'll send you some. Enjoy.
Oh, that'd be good.
Thanks,
So
Clive.
let's get to your
Thank
meeting.
you. Yeah, I got to go. Have a
Okay.
great day.
We'll
Thank
talk
you
to you
so
next week.
much. That was awesome.
Yeah, same time next week.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that'd be great. If we can do 12, that'd be awesome. Oh,
Yep.
actually, I pick up Alyssa at the airport. She's coming up for a big ASEA conference we're having next weekend. So,
Okay.
could we do it earlier, like 9
Yep, I'll
your
just go
time?
to mine. So that'll be next
Next Thursday,
Thursday.
9
Yep, what
o'clock.
time next
10
Thursday?
o'clock. 10 o'clock your time. Would that work for
10
you?
o'clock my time is beautiful. That's 9 o'clock your time.
Yes, 9 a.m. Thursday.
Yep, beautiful. I'll put that in.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, if you have any questions or any hiccups, please feel free to give me a call.
Okay, I will do.
Yeah. So I'm here to help you and here to support you.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Glenn.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Okay, mate. Talk soon.
Okay. See
Bye.
ya. Bye.